All right, Shalom. Let's start off as always by giving all praises, honor, and glorification to our power. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Kudash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, who teach well and rule well, and Shalom to the elect. This is the brother Zakar from the Great Millstone Montreal branch. All right, and this lesson is going to touch on how, suddenly Yahweh Bahasham Shai is going to bring forth his judgments. Okay, just suddenly. Okay. That's why the scriptures say that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. Okay, let's get that in the book of Thessalonians. First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai so cometh as a thief in the night. Okay, so suddenly, okay, the Lord is going to come. Just as suddenly the judgments are going to come. Okay. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right, so they're not going to be able to escape. Right. In other words, those plagues, those calamities, they're going to take hold on them. Okay, when you go to the book of Second Esdras, (16) and verse. It's like you. Excuse me, 15 and verse 27. Second Esdras 15 and 27 says, for now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. The rest of them are not going to be able to escape. Okay, ye shall remain in them, for the Most High shall not deliver you, because ye have sinned against them. All right? All right, so suddenly these plagues are going to come. Okay? This is Isaiah. Isaiah 29 and verse 6. It says here, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. You see? So now as we're heading back from camp, heading home back from camp, suddenly there was a storm. Like the brother said, it was a flash, like it was a quick storm. Okay, there's a lot of rain. I'm talking about pouring. There's thunderstorms. I seen heavy thunderstorms, and there was a great wind. Okay, but the fact is that it just happened suddenly. Just all of a sudden, there was a shift. Okay, well, that's how the Lord is gonna visit this place, man. Okay, I read 6 again. It says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Okay, and we know that the final judgment, is going to be by way of fire. Right, the Lord is going to send forth fire by way of thermonuclear fire. Okay, nuclear fire, and as well as the fire from the chariots of Yahweh Shemel Shai's vehicles, upon the world, in mainly America. Okay, America is going to be destroyed by fire, and the land of Israel also is going to be destroyed by fire. All right, there's other places that got to be touched by the fire as well. Okay, but these places we know for a fact, are going to be destroyed by fire. Okay, however, we know that the land of Israel is going to be inhabited again. Okay, by the nation of Israel, starting with its elect. But America is not going to be inhabited. All right, so that judgment is going to come suddenly, man. Okay, suddenly the Lord is going to visit this place with thunder, with earthquake, and with noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. You see, when the Lord sent the plagues upon Egypt, it was all of a sudden. Okay, He sent out the warning, and then all of a sudden, okay, lice. All of a sudden, there's darkness, okay? Just a quick shift, okay? The Lord can do that, man. You know, and I had a dream maybe a couple months ago, and I remember being in the classroom, and from what I can remember, it was blue skies outside. I believe it was a nice day. It was blue skies, and then all of a sudden, you know, you look out the window and it's all white. I'm talking about heavy blizzard, you know, a heavy storm blizzard, but everything was white, you know. The sight was just terrifying, you know. You know, it's still in my mind, like it was just a terror. I remember I was terrified. I'm not gonna lie, you know, because you just understand that that's Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, you know. Let's just say I wasn't in like a happy joyful state when that happened, man. Okay, because truly the judgments of the Lord are terrible, man. Okay, now, when you come back to your senses, you understand that, these judgments that are going to come are from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, but nonetheless, I can't say that in the moment when the Lord brings forth these judgments that you're not going to be, affrighted, and I believe that's part of, glorifying Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, just being terrified of Him, man, being afraid, fearing Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, so it was just all of a sudden. I'm talking about just in an instant, the weather switched. The weather just changed. Okay, in a moment. So what happened today just made me think of that, man. Okay, like there's a sudden storm. The wind today was serious. It was just a moment. It just, you see the breeze, all sorts of debris in the street. That's how fast the Lord can make judgments happen. Okay, so I read Isaiah 29 again. It says, "Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire." All right, so these are part of the Lord's weapons, okay? Using the weather, okay? This is Isaiah 47:11. It says, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." All right, and this is a prophecy that's going to come upon Babylon, which is America. All right, so all sorts of calamities are going to come upon America, man. And suddenly, its destruction is going to come. Suddenly, these calamities are going to come upon her. Okay, and they will not be able to escape. Only the elect are going to be protected and escape that time. Okay, as it says in the book of Job 5 and verse 19, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee." Okay, "He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yet in 7 there shall no evil touch thee." All right, so the Lord is going to deliver His men from the fire and from the great earthquake that's going to come after that nuclear fire and these explosions. Verse 20, in famine He shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Okay. "Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth." All right, so the Lord's going to put us in a special spirit, okay? He's going to put us in a different spirit, a spirit of faith, a spirit of confidence, okay? Shit, before what I can remember in that dream, man, when the Lord brought that switch, okay, that blizzard, I'm talking a heavy blizzard, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of frightened, man. I was frightened. I was frightened, man. It was a terrifying sight. How the Lord just switched everything. Like almost like I believe He brought like a blizzard in the middle of like the middle of either spring or summer, man. For what I can remember, all I remember was it was nice outside, and there was just a switch. Everything was white, man. Yeah, so let's so suddenly these judgments are gonna come. Let's go to the book of Sirach 40 and verse 9. Death and bloodshed, strife and sword, calamities, famine, the tribulation and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. Right? And as the scripture says, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be. Right? Suddenly, that judgment came. And ultimately drawn the whole world, but saved 8 souls. Okay? Let's get that in the book of Luke 17, verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Okay? So at the coming of our Lord Yahushua, it's going to be sudden. Okay? It's going to be sudden destruction. Okay? All right? And that plays into, the glory of the Lord, man. How he just, that element of surprise with Yahushua, man. Okay? All right, so like we read, it says, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. So I just wanted to bring that out. Okay. Let's end off by giving all praises, honor, and glorification to our power, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachar Kudash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the elect, Yahweh, by Hashem Shai Bakatam.